Hello students, once again I welcome you in this second part of Social Science chapter 1st, Resources and Development. Students, in the first part you came to know about resources, their definition and their types. On the various basis you saw how the resources are classified. Like on the basis of origin, you have got two types of resources, biotic and abiotic. Second, on the basis of exhaustibility, renewable and non-renewable. Third, on the basis of ownership. In this there are four types, subtypes you can say: individual, community, national and international resources. And on the fourth basis, that is on the basis of development, you have got four subtypes of resources. They are potential, developed, stock and reserve resources. Today we will read about development of resources, how their indiscriminate use has led to catastrophic results. It has put a question mark on the very survival of human beings. We will come to know. Then we will discuss today about the sustainable development, then global earth summit, then resource planning, and finally how is resource planning done. First of all, development of resources. By now you must have come to know that resources are vital for human survival and also for maintaining the quality of life. But overconsumption of resources has brought us on the verge of destruction. This has resulted in three factors. The first, depletion of resources for satisfying the greed of few people. There are few people who have a lot of greed. Out of their greed, they indiscriminately are destroying our resources. The second, due to this, there is accumulation of wealth in few people's hand, thus creating a gap between societies of haves and have-nots. Means at one side there are few richer people, at the other side there are huge mass of poor people. And this indiscriminate use of resources has led to four factors. They are global warming, ozone layer depletion, environmental pollution, and fourth, land degradation. It is very easy to remember. You can take the first letter of every word, the first letter of first word of every factor. It becomes GOEL, GOEL. So G stands for global warming, O stands for ozone layer depletion, E stands for environmental pollution, and finally you have got land degradation. Global warming, you have been reading since class 5th. This is not a new thing. I am telling you, all these terms you have already read. How these factors are creating problems for our survival. Now there is a need to focus on this to save ourselves and save our beautiful earth, the beautiful gift of our nature. In the second part, students, we should know what is resource planning and why it is necessary. First of all, resource planning. A wise and judicious use of resources in a planned manner is called resource planning. I can make you more comfortable by giving you an example. Suppose there is a person who has got a monthly income of 1 lakh, and by the 15th of next month he spends all the money. Now you can think how his rest of 15 days will go on. Had he planned in a proper way, he would have been able to not only run up to the last of the month, he would have been able to save some money for future also. Because he has not planned, he will have to face problems. This is we call resource planning. Resource planning is necessary for any country, particularly if you talk about our country, India, seeing the vast population. Why we need to have resource planning? There are two factors we need to understand. The first, resources are available in very limited quantity, students. You can wonder by knowing this fact that minerals, which have become the integral part of our development, they consist of only 1% of the total area of the crust of our earth. Now see how an amazing fact. Only 1% of the total area of the crust is filled by our minerals, and there is huge population. So many countries are there. How to cope up with this problem? So we need to have resource planning. The second factor, here we will concentrate only to our country. Resources are distributed in not an equal manner. They are unequally distributed. Mainly, if you talk about our country, there are 4 states: Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, where have large amounts of minerals. Rest, there are no minerals. Like there are minerals in Rajasthan or Kerala, but little parts. You can say 3/4 of the minerals are contained in these 4 states only. The northern plains are completely devoid of minerals. There are no minerals present here. But they have something else. They are rich in, they have got good northern plains, they are fertile, they have no dearth of water. Here we have got many things. Ladakh, cultural heritage. So, resource planning is necessary because here you are planning for the whole country. If some part of our country lacks in one mineral, naturally it will have another thing, and we can exchange throughout the country. So, to fulfill all these demands, you need to have resource planning. This is an important question, often asked in board exams. Now, sustainable development. What is sustainable development? This term first came in 1987 under the Brundtland Commission report. It tells us that development in the present should take place without damaging the environment, and in the same stage, development in the present should not compromise with the needs of the future generation. What is telling? We should develop, but without damaging our environment. Just now I have discussed with you how this indiscriminate use of resources have led to so many problems, like global warming and all. I have already discussed with you just now. So, sustainable development tells us that we should develop, there is no problem. But we should also take care that our environment is not being damaged. And at the same time, we must know that there is future generation coming ahead of us. We must leave something for them also. Because you can understand, they are to use the same things which are being used by us. This is called sustainable development. You can understand the enormity of problem, how different countries are facing the problems of not having a proper and judicious resource planning. So, to address this problem, in 1992, June 1992, at the place called Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, the first ever Global Earth Summit was convened. It was attended by over 100 country heads to address two problems, namely the environmental protection and socio-economic development. It also came out with a resolution, that is Global Forest Principles. At the same time, Agenda 21 and to fight against global diseases, poverty, health issues through mutual cooperation. Now what is this Agenda 21? This was a declaration signed at the same place called Rio de Janeiro in the same meeting. The meeting was convened by United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, that is UNCED, United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. It aims at achieving global sustainable development and to eliminate all the problems which the world is facing. Now, in the second thing, you will come to know how resource planning is done. There are 3 stages in which resource planning is done. The first, identification and inventory of resources. This includes surveying, mapping, qualitative and quantitative estimation of resources. The second, evolving a proper development structure. And the third, matching this development structure with the overall national development plans. For today, that's all. We will discuss about this resource planning in the next part. Hope we will meet very soon. Thanks.